All right. So let's get started. Since this thing is going to be recorded, people who aren't here or are going to be late, they can go back and listen. I don't want to hold you guys up. I appreciate you guys for joining us live today. And I know you guys have busy schedules, and to take your time out to listen to this is greatly appreciated. And yeah, let's get started. So I hope everyone's doing well. So it's been a while since our last AMA. I'm excited to share the latest updates on our progress over the last few months. So we've been hard at work at Deeper Network, focusing on the growth of our network. It's been the main focus for over the last year, I would say. I know there's other areas that could be worked on as well, but we have limited resources, and growing the network is truly the most important thing for us right now in order to achieve the other aspects of our vision. So right now we have nearly 200,000 nodes globally, and that has been the product of retail sales as well as just regular like community sales for mining. And then recently, it's been a lot of B2B sales as well. So our recent shift towards B2B development, for those of you that don't know what B2B means, is business to business. So we're selling to wholesalers, other retail stores that are selling our products. Has been really fruitful for us because it also has allowed us to not only grow the number of nodes, it's also helped us expand on partnerships across key regions as well. There's certain regions that is very difficult for us to get into, whether it's because of logistics or kind of different reasons. Sometimes it's a little bit political, right? So sometimes we don't want to have our hands directly in there, but there are people who need our devices to get the freedom of information. So we want to make sure that they can get their hands on that as well. So notably, we've teamed up recently, partnered with the UK police, military, and investigative bodies, providing them with our devices. We've been training them to help them enhance their privacy and security during their investigations. Right now, it's still kind of on a small quantity basis, but eventually, as they get the hang of it, I see this as a really fruitful partnership. We haven't been able to announce it kind of in a poster way officially just quite yet, because we are still kind of in the training phase and trying to get familiar with our devices. So the UK police do a lot of things internationally as well. And so having the privacy and being able to do it in the most private manner was something that they were looking for. And plus, they don't want accrued kind of fees associated with it. So it really made a lot of sense to them. So they reached out to us, and we were so happy to be able to work with them. We're also pursuing collaborations. We have pursued and sealed collaborations with Let's Exchange. That's a DEX, Nadix, which is a kind of a DPIN and also a Web3 company. We have our products in their marketplace as well. And then also we're exploring membership into the Liberty Alliance, which is based out in Washington, D.C. They have the same vision as us. I went to a conference recently, and I met the CEO of Liberty Alliance, Tomika, and we had a great chat. And we're going to start by joining their alliance, and then from there, we'll move on to other partnerships, hopefully. Additionally, we're in discussions with some major partners that employ over 20,000 people globally. I can't say the name of the two companies we're working with right now, but they are studying our products, and we're also training them. And if this goes well, I really look forward to sharing more details on that if everything aligns. That's huge because they're all over the world, and they could really use our services as well. We're thinking about possibly building them a permissioned network based on Deeper Network. And so kind of creating permission networks for corporations so that they can route internally amongst their own private network. So this is another kind of a sector that we're possibly getting into as well. All right. So let's dive into some of the recent enhancements and improvements made on the network. Let's talk about the software first. So firmware updates. Our latest firmware version is 1.2.11. So that is now available. And if you haven't updated it yet, check your devices, make sure your system is up to date. Make sure you're on the latest firmware because you want to make sure that you have the latest security updates and all of the bug fixes. We don't want your devices to crash. We don't want them to be vulnerable to anything, so keep it up to date. So also, by keeping it up to date, you can experience all the new features. We've been adding a lot of new features over the last few months. And so, for instance, we've integrated popular applications in our app relocator, such as Telegram, Messenger, ChatGPT, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Apple, along with a slew of others. But these were more difficult, and we recently added that to the latest firmware update, which is 1.2.11. We're also excited to introduce the new access control feature, which allows users to manage device bandwidth. So this, for those of you, so if you don't know what AC control is, it's a specific control for individual devices. So for example, on your network, you can have a specific device, such as your mobile phone. Anything on your mobile phone you could set it so that it goes through a particular tunnel through a particular country, and maybe your iPad or your tablet, it's being recognized by ACL on the network, and then you can route that to a different country. So there's a lot of different customizable kind of tools and abilities within the deeper network, and these are things that we've added. A lot of people who use our devices are quite technical, so they really understand it. But for a lot of you, it's there for you to explore, and we have some great resources for you guys I'll tell you guys about later to learn more about it as well. Okay, so with the US now, they have different regions for blackouts for shows and entertainment. So now that can be chosen. So USA regions for all applications on your phone and on your computers in the app relocator. Okay, so you can select by region. Just some of the minor updates that we've done. Our new Atom OS 2.0 user interface for Atom OS is almost ready. I've sent on my Twitter a couple of screenshots, kind of sneak peeks at what it looks like, and gotten a lot of great responses. I know the current UI is not the best. I mean, it's functional, but it surely isn't anything great to look at. And the new UI is night and day, and I can't wait for it to be launched. There's still some bugs being fleshed out, but it's really just around the corner. We don't want to launch something that still has some bugs, so we're just kind of waiting for it to be ready. And I think I haven't been given a definite date, but from the engineering team, but possibly within the next 1 or 2 firmware updates, that'll be ready. Okay, so I appreciate your patience there. All right, moving into hardware updates. We have the Deeper Connect Mini version 6 is now available for all mini orders, and you can order minis on our website. We also are on Amazon and Best Buy as well. But if you want to get the latest mini, you probably have to buy it from our website. The version 6 it features an improved air cooling system, and it's optimized for overload protection. So it's becoming more and more reliable, and the experience will continue to improve as well. And we are building and designing and currently almost manufacturing our high performance 2.5 gigabyte per second mini. So it's kind of the the newer generation of the Mini, which will satisfy a lot of the requests that we've gotten for higher bandwidth devices. A lot of people now, fiber optics is a 1 gig per second kind of pass-through rate. And now we have internet that's even faster than that. And so we are trying to keep up with the advancements in technology. And so we've developed our high performance Mini. And it's aimed to be launched in time for the holidays, hopefully. But again, these things are really difficult to time. When a device or something is just not ready, there could be some delays. So keep that in mind. But that is being worked on, and it will be launched. And although we've paused the design of the long-awaited Deeper Connect Pro, we've kind of put that on hold because we've been focusing a lot on the DPN app. And so a lot of people might ask, like, why do you put it on hold? Why don't you just put more people on it? Well, we don't have the resources to put, everybody on everything. So we have to kind of shift things. And the DPN app is a very important development. It's probably our biggest thing for 2024 is to launch this app. The app itself, if you haven't tried it, it's free right now. It's constantly being updated because we're continuing to test it with the communities helping us test it. And then we're also we've added new features to it as well. So if you haven't tried it, you can go to your browser and type in dpn.deeper.network. And there's multiple versions that you can install, even Linux, WebOS, and Windows, of course, Android and iOS. So these are all ready for you to try. Once it's launched, what it's going to do is it's really going to expand our visibility for Deeper Network. And the users will, number one, owners of the Deeper Connect will be able to use the DPN app for free. Okay, so you'll have free usage of that as a benefit of being already a Deeper Network Deepernaut. Okay, so that's great news. And a lot of people like the app because when you're away from home, sometimes you need to tunnel out in different countries, and you can have it installed on your phone and be able to use it. So the other thing is for new users who don't own devices, they can go ahead and use it for free for 1 month. And if they like it, they'll have to pay for it. Okay. Right now in the beginning, it'll probably be just credit cards and they can pay for the service. But eventually we will have the EZC designed probably early next year. And what the EZC is going to do is when people swipe their card to pay for the service, which is, by the way, a lot cheaper than VPN. So when we market this, we have a huge advantage in that not only the price of the DPN app, but also DPN is unblockable, unlike VPNs. So VPNs have a lot of issues with being flagged as central server IPs from their pool. And when you go to different countries, they get flagged. And also it's quite dangerous because a lot of countries, VPN is illegal. And when you're detected, it could put your IP and your privacy in danger. So with the DPN app, because it's they look like real IPs because they are real IPs, there's no ways to be detected or flagged. So the app itself will allow users to share. So for users who don't want to pay for the device, for the app, they can go ahead and share the mobile node, and then that will allow others to connect. So that's going to also expand the nodes around the world with the DPN app, and that's going to happen much faster than buying devices as well. So can't wait for that. And I was talking about the EZC earlier. When people swipe the card and purchase the DPN app, whether it's subscription based, right? What's going to happen is the money that's going to go through is going to, a part of it is going to be buying DPR tokens, and it's going to have to burn DPR tokens in order to create easy C credits, and these easy C credits is basically what runs the DPN. And so it's going to be our true first case use case for DPR token. And I know a lot of you have been waiting for that. Understand that token performance has not been pretty. I totally agree there. But it's not something that we're ignoring. It's a timing thing. And we can talk about that a little bit later in the question section. Okay, so we're super excited and stoked about the DPN app because it's going to change things. It's going to change things for the entire ecosystem as well. All right, let's get a sip of water here. All right, so moving on. We talked about software updates and just now hardware updates. Moving on to deeper chain, so blockchain stuff. So that is also evolving. We're making strides in developing NPOW, the next generation proof of work, and have successfully implemented an instant cross-chain transfer feature for the chain as well. So NPOW is going to be our next generation way to have users or node owners make money with their IP. And you guys will be able to do, it's a new way of mining. And so there are articles on our blog that explains what that is. And it's quite complicated because it involves third-party dApps, also dApps that we build. Right now, it's not quite there yet, but the vision of it and the implementation of it is going to be massive, considering that anybody can just come in, build a dApp, and have access to over 200,000 nodes around the world instantly. And right now, to build a network costs millions, if not billions of dollars for companies. And so a lot of dApp builders or companies, they're not going to want to start from scratch. They're going to want to come to a network that's already there, existing and solid, and they want to go ahead and access that instantly without having to build it and spend out of pocket. I mean, millions and billions of dollars. That's a lot of time and effort. So that's going to be the power of a deeper network and NPOW. Okay, we could talk about NPOW a little bit more later if you guys have questions on that. This basically will allow users to, the cross-chain transfer feature is going to allow users to transfer from Binance Smart Chain, or BNB chain now they call it, to deeper chain without any burning mechanism. So we have built that and ensuring this, so it ensures the speed and the efficiency and the cost for the users. The Solana migration, the DPR Solana bridge has been completed, and discussions are happening right now regarding the governance enhancements with the Solana team. And the governance on the Polkadot was all established. However, with Solana, it's something new and it's a different kind of a structure. So we're kind of figuring out ways how that can be migrated over. Because the plan for Deeper Chain is to eventually have it be self-governing. And so the governance on there are people who basically they're validator nodes, and anybody can become a validator node. And there's blog articles. Just search Deeper Network, validator node, blog, and these articles will pop up. It'll show you how you can become a validator node. And as a validator node, you basically earn for every transaction. All nodes will fall under certain validator nodes, and all the transactions are paid out to the validator nodes. So there's a lot of advantages to being validator, but also validators are important because they make the blockchain stable. Okay. And so the governance aspect is really important because eventually it's going to be governed by you guys, and there's going to be votes, different ways to show how and which direction the project should move in. Okay. There's different kind of voting mechanisms and also proposals that validators and participants on the network can participate in. Okay. So while the full migration, the Solana migration deadline is yet to be set, we've added a burning record interface for easier tracking, and we're still looking for testers for our hardware wallet. Skipped something real quick there. We are building a hardware wallet, which is going to be embedded. Basically, it's already part of the device. It's just not been fully developed, but the device itself will become a hardware wallet. And so that'll make things a lot easier for you guys, a lot safer as well. And so we're working on that. We're also doing a software wallet within the ecosystem. So the software wallet slash software slash hardware wallet, it's kind of a hybrid between the two. It's not quite a hardware wallet fully, but it's also not fully software. So it can be taken offline, okay, but it's really quick to basically connect online. So the hardware wallet is going to be it already has Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other major currencies incorporated, and it's going to create help create a better and more usable ecosystem for the deeper network as well, and more convenient for the users. So the GUI front end is already created for these major tokens, and they're being tested already as well. And so the community testers are already testing out the hardware slash software wallet. Okay. All right, a couple more things before we open the floor to questions. We'll just talk about some marketing efforts and some of our marketing strategy. Okay. So our team has been working pretty hard on connecting with the community and increasing our visibility. Our deeper YouTube channel is thriving, and if you haven't visited our YouTube channel, please go do so, because we've been adding at least 2 tutorial or tips videos every week, and it'll maximize your experience with the Deeper Connect devices. So make sure you check those out, because a lot of people who own these devices, they use 1 or 2 features on it, or some of you guys don't even use any features. You just mine and you just leave it there. But if actually you go into Atom OS and you watch these YouTube videos, which are only 1 to 2, maybe 3 minutes long, super quick, you can learn extra features that are already on there that will help your network and make your life a lot easier. So check those out, and help you save money in a lot of instances. It'll make your house and devices a lot safer as well. So we're also excited to launch our TikTok social media platform. If you're a user of TikTok, please follow us. We aim to grow the community and eventually open a TikTok shop there as well. I know TikTok's being banned in the US pretty soon. I believe the date is somewhere in February, but you guys have our devices, so that ban is not really going to affect you, because you could just use the DPN. But the TikTok itself is a great resource. It's one of the fastest growing in terms of community growth, and having a shop there is going to be great for reach. Okay. We also attended a DPIN conference in Hong Kong this year. So it's the DPIN Global Hardware Conference. So we were there. I was there personally. I met a lot of the people in the community, and that was a huge highlight for me this year. I connected with a lot of fellow DPIN projects, Hive Mapper and Demo. There were a lot of cool projects that I've heard of throughout the year, and they were all there. So it was really cool and to be able to talk to them. And during the event, we also sold over 500 devices. That was awesome. People were just buying, especially because it was in Hong Kong. A lot of people were buying them because they need them for certain regions in China. So a lot of people were buying, 20, 30 at a time. Additionally, we have successfully launched Best Buy Canada, and that is up and running. And of course, we're on Amazon USA and Canada. So we're looking for good reviews. If you've purchased on Amazon recently our devices, I would really, really appreciate it if you guys can go and leave a good review for us. That's going to help a lot. Okay. Moving on to marketing strategy, and then we'll open up the floor to questions. Is our partnerships with distributors in India has been allowing us easier access to the people of India. India is a big market, now the most populated country in the world. A lot of Indians do not reside in India. So they work outside of India, right? So in the US, all over the world, Dubai, you find Indians everywhere because they're working everywhere around the world. However, they want to be able to tunnel back to India to access a lot of the entertainment, a lot of the services that they have within India. And so VPN is illegal in India as well. So with our devices, they can bypass all that. Now, there's a problem because we don't have enough devices within India. Part of the problem there is logistics. They have terrible courier and logistics services. And so what we've done is we found successfully several Indian distributors that we can depend on there. And so with that, we've been growing in that region. And that not only is going to be helping revenue on the deeper network side so we can further build, but it's also going to help the users around the world who want to tunnel into India. Now they can have more nodes, they can have more stable nodes. Okay, so that has been happening. And we're also focusing on B2B development, attracting new sellers worldwide, particularly in regions like India, the Arab states, and Eastern Europe, where there's a high demand of our devices due to the increased censorship. For those of you that live in countries that are not heavily censored, this might not mean anything to you, but trust me, I've traveled quite a lot, and moving and going around to different countries, you really realize how hard it is with the censorship, the blocked websites and all that. And so it's kind of a wake-up call when you go there and you can't use half the apps on your phone. So all right. So I want to take a moment before we open up the floor to questions to thank all of you for your continued support, your enthusiasm for Deeper Network. A lot of you have been actively participating, so that helps us strengthen our network and the community, and makes the project more resilient as well. So we look forward to bringing you more updates in the future. We have our bi-monthly update newsletters. We'll do more AMAs. I'm always accessible on Twitter. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, please follow me. It's at Hello Eric Ma. And anytime anybody has questions, I'm always there to respond. I don't think I've ever let even a simple question go through. So yeah, now I'd love to open up the floor for questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand, and I would be glad to answer them. I have some questions from the community that I could go ahead and answer as well, if I don't get anything right away. So if you have a question, you could go ahead and click, and I think it's like raising your hand or something. All right, so I'll just wait. If somebody has a question, go ahead and raise your hand. I have some questions from the community already. Somebody was asking about if there was news about the storage miners. The storage miner is the Deeper Connect Pro, and that has been postponed or just been paused in terms of development because of the app. And that device itself does depend on a solid network as well. So the bigger the network, the better these devices will work. And so it does kind of make sense to kind of pause that, but that will be developed. That's going to be an integral part of decentralized storage for the network, which is going to be very important for decentralized DNS, which is part of our Web3 ecosystem. People can become decentralized DNSs and be able to be paid to be a decentralized DNS for websites in certain regions. Not only does that benefit the user, but it benefits certain regions because now it makes the internet and the websites that they're trying to access a lot more efficient, It makes it a lot more censorship resistant. And so it's really kind of right in line with our vision, which to create internet freedom. And so that's kind of what that does. And also with the storage device, it allows the users to become owners of their own business, which is their own cloud storage, right? Business. And so if you have one of these devices, anybody on the network can save a file to the cloud. It could be very high confidentiality documents, data, or it could be videos, it could be photos. You don't want people to be able to access those, right? Right now, you upload a photo to Apple Cloud or Google Drive. Those are whole files that can actually be scanned and used against you for whatever reason, right? Or be stolen. And you don't want that. So on a decentralized storage network that we're trying to build eventually with the Deeper Connect Pro, these storage devices will save bits. So maybe a certain file will be broken up into 13 to 15 bits so that, and they're encrypted. You can't do anything with these pieces anyways. So it's unhackable. Even if it's hacked, the hacker is unable to do anything with these encrypted bits of a file, right? And when you want to retrieve it, you could go ahead and retrieve it, and it pulls it from all these drives, and then it becomes whole again, decrypted on your computer, safe. And so this is kind of the vision for the Deeper Connect Pro. Okay, I got some questions here. That's good. Let me see how I access this here. 2 requests. We have Ledger Cartel. I'm going to approve you and have you ask your question. And then after that is AI Assistant. Hey, Ledger Cartel. You there? You have a question? All right, I'm going to approve AI Assistant as well. If you have a question, go ahead and ask. Oh, looks like he just dropped. I also like to take a moment to really thank John from Deeper Knot Space. He is not an employee. He's not paid by Deeper Network. He's just a super fan of Deeper Network. And the amount of work that he puts into that channel is incredible. And I just wanted to thank him personally for the company as well, and for the community, how much work you've dedicated to providing us good information. Some of the stuff that you actually announce on your videos and stuff is a good refresher for me as well. So whenever I watch it, it's really helpful. All right. Oh, we got a bunch of questions now. Okay, speaker result. Oh. I don't hear anybody. I don't know what's going on. Am I on mute or something? Zolt, you're on mute. That's why I can't hear you. Please unmute yourself. Ledger Cartel, you're also muted. If you want to speak, please unmute yourself so you could ask your question. Okay. I'm gonna Sean Calderly, approve you. And Ben Encrypted, I'm gonna approve you as well. Okay. Oh, I think it might be me. I muted everyone. Let me unmute.
I think it's working now. I can speak.
Yes. Hey, Sean. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I don't know if
Where
am
you
I
from?
first in queue to ask a question, or is it someone else before me?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go first since you're the first one that made a sound. Where are you from?
I'm from the UK.
Cool. Cool.
My question is regarding obviously the full routing and obviously connecting to a full like just one IP. Are we able to get any
Mhm.
way of like knowing the up and down speeds of that IP before like connecting? Because obviously it's kind of annoying to have to check it one by one and switch and then do a speed test just to find out which one's got a good speed.
Sure. Yeah, that's kind of the IP marketplace that we're talking about. Eventually, we will have a premium service which will allow the faster nodes to be able to be accessible for the
Yeah.
premium service providers. Yeah, so that will come up. It's going to take some time, but that is something on our roadmap to create premium service for faster nodes and also a IP marketplace so that you can basically advertise and sell your nodes speeds faster. So you can kind of like market your own IP basically.
Right, okay, wonderful. Because obviously I got a 2 gig internet, so I use all 1 gig on the port. And obviously it's kind of
For
annoying that I can't even get close to 1 gig sometimes because people are limiting the download, like the download and upload. So it would be nice to know what it is before you even try and connect to an IP to like travel through that
Absolutely.
way. But
Yeah,
wonderful,
you're
thank
one of
you.
the solid nodes that we have on the network. There are many people now with fiber optics and faster internet like you, and you guys will be part of that premium as well. And so having guys like you on the network is super helpful. Sometimes I connect to a certain node on full route even, and I pretty much max, at home I only have 100 megabytes. 150, sorry, 150 megabytes per second, megabits per second. And sometimes when I connect to a solid node, I'm up there at 135, 140. And those are great days. But sometimes you're connected to a different node and you're at like 5 megabits per second. So,
Yeah, it could
yeah.
take me a good 5-10 minutes to find a good node, and it's kind of annoying because
Yeah,
sometimes obviously you
it
have to
is
keep
annoying.
switching and switching. So it would be nice, but thank you very much for letting me ask that question.
Thanks, Sean. Enjoy yourself in the UK. Thank you. Okay. Um, all right. Who's does Ledger? Okay, Ben. I
Okay.
see you're unmuting.
Yes.
Okay. We'll go with Ledger first, and then Ben is next. Hey,
Okay.
Ledger, where are you from?
Yes, I'm from Canada. I have
Okay.
one question. I've been
Yes.
with Deeper Network since August 2021, and I
Wow.
accumulated a lots of credits, and I didn't sell any coin. So um, I have replaced the fund, so I can still use the device. So my question now is, I have a very good credits on the device already. If I
Hmm.
buy a new device, am I able to keep my credits
Yes,
and
they
transfer over
can be
all those?
transferable.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter as long as I just transfer
Yeah,
it,
it's
right?
it's it's going to be a process. You do have to contact our customer service, and our tech support will help you swap that. So all your data and stuff regarding your credits and is on the blockchain, and so it's not actually on the device. Your device does have an SN number, and your data on the blockchain is actually bound to your SN number. So when you get a new device, your new device will have a new SN number, and then you can just bind the old SN number information on the blockchain to the new SN number for the new device. And so it's going to be a process, but it can be done. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Have a nice
You
day.
got it.
Bye bye.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Ben?
Out of there. I have a quick question about the cloud storage.
Yes.
So I know that the files will be encrypted, but are you guys able to decrypt them?
No, absolutely not. Deeper Network is unable to decrypt anything because we don't have the ability to. The data that leaves your device is encrypted, so it's end to end. And when it reaches the other end, it's also encrypted. We actually have no centralized servers. We have no ability to access any of the files. Um, So that's you know that's the difference between decentralization and centralization. So
All right, cool. Thank you.
okay, where are you from, Ben?
I'm from the U.S.
Cool. Man, most of our users are all from the U.S. and Canada, which is great because it shows you that even though they're not in a very heavily censored country, that the U.S. You Americans and Canadians care so much about the privacy, and that's the way to go. So, thanks, Ben, for your question. Okay, Zolt.
Thank you. I'm calling in from Hungary right now, and the question is regarding to the Best Buy or Amazon leaving a review. In the past, I was not successful because I didn't buy my device through them. Now
Right.
I have a legitimate way to leave a review because I do have the device, and I would love to comply. I would love to just simply help the deeper network by leaving very good reviews, but they didn't let me to. So is that something can be done, or just simply I have to buy my next device through them?
Right. That's a good question. So Amazon, because they had issues in the past with people leaving reviews, um, people leaving reviews for on Amazon, and when they haven't even bought the devices. So that was a problem that they had. So now they've got a system where only verified users who have purchased on Amazon that particular product can leave the review. So when I was asking for a nice Amazon review, it's for customers who purchased their devices there. Now, if you want to leave a good review on Amazon, please reach out to me. I will hook you up with a sweet deal, just for your appreciation, just kind of satisfying a certain request. So you can contact me privately, and we can talk there. But for the people who purchased on the website and elsewhere, you can always go to our website and leave a great testimonial. Testimonials are really helpful for us because we use them for social media and also across our website and different platforms. And having the different types of testimonials is very useful. So you can leave that at our website. Go to our website, and there's a section where you can leave your own testimonial. Okay.
Can this testimonial being a video, because those are the best substantiated reviews?
Can it be retail? Yes. They're mostly retail people leaving. Is that what you meant?
No,
Leaving the testimony?
no. I was asking, can I make the reviews in a video format, so people?
Oh, in a video.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the website does not accept videos. But if you want to create a video, you can send it to me. Zolt, I know you and I are connected. Zolt's a major OG for Deeper Network, and if you wanted to create a video, you can go ahead and send it to me, and I'll make use of it.
Will do. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Zolt. All right. I just approved somebody earlier. I forgot the person's name. Kang's here too. I'm gonna approve you. Oh, Tekken. Do you have a question? Hey,
Yeah.
Tekken.
Hi, what's up? So I'm pretty much an OG as well. So I have both
Awesome.
the mini and the upgraded one to the mini. So
Mm,
um I again when I got into the project, I was just tired of paying for like
VPN.
yeah, VPNs. So I didn't
Yeah,
even really look at it from the token standpoint, but
right.
that's my question is because like I've just watched over the years like the token value just go to
Sure.
nothing, and it
Yeah,
and I'm trying to see, my question is how are you going to rework it so like the tokenomics has better value going forward,
sure,
and can maintain its value going forward,
sure.
whether it's
I
through. Go ahead.
really appreciate this question. First of all, where are you from, Ken?
Oh, Texas, Houston.
Texas. Awesome. So thanks for your support over the years. We have customers or people from the community who come from different kind of sectors, right? So some people buy it purely for the DPN aspect. They don't understand crypto. They buy it because they're sick of paying VPN. Kind of how Ken came on board, right? And then you have a different group that comes because of the cybersecurity. They recognize that they don't have cybersecurity protection at their home or their small office, and so they want that enterprise level cybersecurity for these spaces. So they buy our devices, not really users of VPN or crypto, right? And then the third one is the crypto users who come here to mine tokens, and some of them don't really care about the VPN or the cybersecurity. Of course, there's a mix and match. There are some who do care about VPN and also crypto, but don't really care about cybersecurity. Some people care about all three. So we have a very diverse community within the space. To answer Tech Ken's question, I really appreciate that question because I didn't want to just go ahead and add that into my update earlier, but this was something I wanted to discuss. He talked about why the token has been declining so much. So I want to address that first. Number one, when you have a token that doesn't have a real use case, and it's also a mining token where people mining projects tend to have very high inflation because they're mining new tokens, and then what did they do with those tokens? They will sell it. So there's a lot of sell pressure in projects that are mining projects. And so that's kind of how we started. It was successful in the sense that we onboarded about 20,000 new users during that time because it got the network kind of jump started and alive, right? And so that was really good. Now, regarding the use case, it's not that we want a token that has no use case. That is something being developed, right? I talked earlier about the first use case, which is the DPN app, right? And then the next use case I foresee after that is the NPOW, which is the Web3 IP marketplace that'll create people who own IPs, just any internet user, to be able to own and make money with their IPs, right? And that's going to involve DPR as well. So these are all use cases that will come. So regarding the question regarding the price going down, that is from the inflation aspect. We have taken initiatives to try to lessen that. Number one, we've had a halving for the mining rewards. This was probably over a year ago we had a halving. And a lot of the tokens that are being sold are from the Genesis miners who made a lot of tokens, right? And so the inflation aspect is what's causing the token to go down in value. Now, there are other projects, okay, such as Helium or some of the bigger mining projects that don't have as serious of a drop in price, and I'll tell you why. These projects are funded and backed by billion-dollar companies, okay? And so they have the ability to do a lot of buyback, a lot of market making, a lot of kind of pumping of the price to maintain a certain level, right? Unfortunately, we're a startup. Deeper Network compared to Helium, it's like David and Goliath. And we're unable to spend money to do these buybacks, to perform these market making tactics, to kind of artificially inflate the price or keep it level. I wish we did, because then the community won't suffer as much, right? But I think the key to true believers is to not look at that, right? And just wait. This is a longer term project. It's not something that, unfortunately, some projects are, you mine it, you sell all your tokens, you make a bunch of money, and then you're out. Unfortunately, deeper networks not like that because a lot of mining projects have no use case. It's just purely mining. You mine it, you sell it, and then that's the end of the project. But look at all the stuff we're building. Look at all the things we're trying to do on the B2B side, on the partnerships with major companies. And so keeping the tokens, like some of the one of the community members mentioned earlier, he said he was an OG, he's been around, hasn't sold a single token. I haven't either. Okay. I've been with this company for what, 4 going on maybe 5 years now. And I haven't sold a single DPR token because number one, my tokens are locked. Okay. I have purchased more, but I haven't sold a single token. I've lost money, but it's only a loss if I sell it. So I haven't lost money. I'm sitting on them because I see it as an investment for the future. This is not financial advice, but I just want you guys to know it's not a loss if you don't sell it because we're doing things to try to, when you have real use case, when it's being used and there's becoming less and less DPR tokens because it's being burned, it will have an effect on the price. With new partnerships, with new listings and different kind of events for listings, it's going to have more positive impact. But right now, a lot of people are selling still, and the price just, you can see it steadily going down. That's just from the miners selling. All right, that was kind of a long, drawn out answer, but that is kind of how I see the whole thing. Of course, there are no promises that the token is going to be 1,000x or 500x, right? Because of anything. But I think you just have to understand the project. And if you only look at it from a price perspective, it's very disappointing. And I can understand that. But this project is much, much more than that. Okay? Tekken, does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah. So yeah, because just like you, again, a day one staker. I haven't actually
Right.
sold any of my tokens. I have 2 devices, the mini and then the upgraded one to the mini. So I'm originally from the Virgin Islands. So
Okay.
I bought 2 and then I sent one for my mom to use because like sometimes like the carrier down there, they have trouble connecting to like Netflix and certain things. So like I said, I used it mainly just as a VPN. And then I just bought tokens and added to both devices. So
Got it.
yeah, so for me, like I've been in crypto for like so long. So I just watched that other side, but I didn't really care about the token price just yet because I figured like you again, I'm into helium and you guys were just new and was just
Yeah.
getting your legs in. And again, it was like you said, you're a David versus a Goliath. So I was
Right.
like, well, maybe in the next 5 years
Yeah.
or so. Because
Exactly.
Adam OS back then was like, yeah, it wasn't the
Right.
best, but but watching the
It's improved a
advancements
lot.
of Adam
Yeah.
OS, yes, it's really really getting polished and
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for
it's
saying that.
really yeah, your technology is really like awesome. And
Thank
and
you.
that's
Thank you.
yeah, that's why I try to show people like, look, man, you don't really need to be spending money on a VPN. Like you could just buy a
Right.
hardware VPN and just travel with it and you're good.
Yep. Exactly. And with the new user interface, it's going to make your experience even better. So I can't wait for that to come out so you can experience it.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yes. But so thank you for answering most of my questions, man.
My pleasure. I appreciate your questions. And thank you for calling from Houston, Texas, Tekken. All right. I wanted to go back real quick to answer. Zolt had a question earlier if he can upload a video to our website. I just looked it up, and we have the ability to also upload video testimonials now on our website. So you can either send it in text or you can upload a video. So there you go. Zolt, feel free to upload your video there. You don't have to send it to me. Yeah. All right, let me see. There's a couple more requests. I have some private messages here with questions as well. Um, Ben Encrypted is back. I'm going to improve him. And then also Zolt from Budapest, Hungary. Let's see. Okay, I got a question here on my. Okay, I'm going to answer this one first.
I would like to add something from those who are seasoned investors, and I have a fortune to have a very good friend of mine who knows a lot more about investing than I do, who would say that he doesn't care about the token price. He cares about one thing: is the network growing? And he was part of the network when we were way below 100,000 and we were looking to be 100,000 strong. Now we are 200,000 strong, and the time will come when we have 1 million strong and more. And then,
That's right.
what do you guys think the DPR price will be? That's all I need to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Zolt. Yeah, I remember when the network started, we were less than 100 nodes. And with the Genesis nodes launching, we got up to a few thousand. And then with the basic mining stakers, we probably reached around 20 or 30,000 miners, and that was the network. So it started as a crypto project, right? Because that's people like to mine. And now we're at 200,000 through our efforts on marketing, our efforts on sales, and we're continuing to do that. We're trying to grow to the B2B side, and that is gonna, I think, we're reaching a certain level with the sales. When you're starting to work with B2B sales, it's gonna, I think the growth is gonna really increase. And so, how does this benefit you? I think there's some crypto holders like, okay, well, you're selling devices, and how is that benefiting me? Well, there's no direct impact on the price with that, right? But there is an impact because when we sell these devices, is revenue to keep us going. It lengthens the runway for the project to continue to develop. TechKen just talked about how our platform and the Atom OS and the user interface and the tools have improved so much since when he first used it back in 2001. I'm sorry, 2000. What year was he? 2011. My mind is it's late here. Anyways, it was 3 or 4 years ago, and it's improved so much. And so that's what it does for us. And also with new nodes, with more sales of devices, the nodes increase, which makes the network more efficient. It makes it more secure. It makes it more robust as well. And so these are all things that you benefit directly from. And of course, with that runway, as we continue to develop more use cases and be able to launch those out with the DPN app, with the NPOW, and building dApps, that's going to have direct impact on the DPR price. Okay. All right. Kang, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, one of the big supporters of Deeper Network. Always making comments and then posts. I really appreciate you on Twitter.
Oh, thank you, man. I've been kind of quiet lately because I'm in Twitter jail for, apparently you can't tell spammers to, go to fire. But anyway,
Oh, God.
I'm surprised it's actually letting me talk on here. But,
Okay.
I was listening, earlier, people were talking about on Amazon and stuff like that. For one, I'm actually part of the Vine program, so that might be a good avenue for, getting, more reviews out there. But I want to also remind people that Amazon has a seller program where you can actually create a storefront. So for those people who are, wanting to, make a little extra money, advertising, if they bought a deeper device off of Amazon, to create a storefront, to where you can actually refer devices and products that you bought and make a video on that, and just kind of you can use that to not only steer customers towards those devices, but to also get yourself a little bit of commission and sales, from Amazon as well. I know it kind of differs from product to product, but it's a good thing to look at. And then also, my next question was for you. When it comes to VPN, I mean, you were talking about, people being able to VPN into their own devices. Will the deeper network eventually start to look into, let's say, for example, naming of devices? So how we have like our ENS, names on Ethereum.
Mhm.
If there's going to be something similar, for the deeper network, so that we can actually name our devices, and then two, when we're connecting to those devices, will they support like proprietary connection methods, or and I don't even know if this is even possible to even support standards like like Open VPN type standards, so that you know non-DPN network. Well, actually, no, because we wouldn't be able to get paid by that. So yeah, screw that. So, but
Yeah.
and then my last question, as far as like say for example, like the certificates, when it comes to like YouTube, I know it's like a cat and mouse game between
Yeah.
you guys and Google when it comes to YouTube ads.
Mhm.
You know, what kind of progress have you guys made in that area as far as being able to block YouTube ads and stuff?
Okay. So the first part wasn't really a question, and I think that was great what you said. I'll answer the second part and the third part. So the second question was regarding the proprietary, basically connecting to your own node. So a lot of people have multiple devices in different countries, and they want the ability to be able to connect to their own device in a different country, right? And so right now that is not available because the number one reason for that is because of the privacy of the nodes. To be able to do that, we would have to know the IPs of all the nodes, and we don't know that. The IPs are all masked, and so we're unable to point to any node and be able to be like, here, this node connect to that node. That would basically lose your. It would affect your guys' privacy, and so that's not possible. But with these huge companies that are the two in particular that have reached out to us and we're working with, they want to have a permission or proprietary network just amongst their employees to be able to do this so that they can tunnel in and out of their own offices around the world. We are looking into this, and right now we are working with them to try to develop this. And so if this does go through and that deal does basically come to life, we will have the technology to possibly allow users on the network to be able to create their own little private networks, okay, and their own little proprietary networks. I can't promise that for now, but I know with that development, it could open new opportunities and new tools to do so. Okay. So that's your answer for the second question. Your I lost train of thought. I forgot what the third question was.
I was mainly just asking about the cat and mouse game between you guys and
Yes,
Google.
the certificates. Thank you. So that's gotten a lot better recently. We had 3 or 4 engineers work together on the certificates because for a while Google had changed and they did this tricky thing with their certificates, and it had different subdomains, and it was really difficult to track down. But we finally found out what they were doing, and we had improved the certificate. So now ad blocking on YouTube is much better. However, they will continue to change things around, and we have to constantly keep on top of that. But we have seen huge improvements since that one, that big campaign that we did to figure out the big changes that YouTube made regarding the certificates. So yeah, we'll continue to make improvements on that. I've not heard too many complaints regarding the YouTube ad block, so it seems to be working really well.
All right, cool. Those are all my questions, and I look forward to when things will eventually move over to Solana. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on
Thank you
mute.
so much.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Kang. Take care. Hope you get out of Twitter jail soon, or X jail.
5 more days. 5 more days.
Oh yeah. All right.
A warning to everybody else: as mad as these spammers and scammers make you, just don't tell them to go to fire. So
Oh
yeah.
man, take
All right, you
care,
guys have a
Frank.
good day.
All right, Ben. Take one last question here, and then I'll answer some questions from the internet.
All right. So there's, you know how on most routers these days you can control the LEDs, right? Like you can just set a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Will that be a feature that you guys add in the future?
Yeah, so like a reboot schedule.
Yeah. An LED schedule.
LED schedule.
A reboot schedule would be good too.
Yeah, we've developed a reboot schedule for our devices already. That should be in this next update. You should be able to, in Atom OS, to schedule regular reboots of your device. For a lot of people who are not home often, they travel a lot. It will make sure their devices reboot and stay online. I'm not sure what the LED schedule is, though. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
Okay, so you know the LED lights on your router that just shows that your internet's connected.
Yeah.
Well, they just flash all the time. So whenever you want to go to sleep or something, you can schedule to where the LED lights will turn off. So
Oh,
I don't know,
wow.
10 p.m. The lights will just turn off and then they'll turn back on around 7 a.m. So I mean, it's a feature on one of my routers that I use. So I don't know.
Okay.
I just thought it might be a good addition.
Okay, I'll talk to the engineers about that. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's pretty cool.
And the
So
antenna also it puts off a lot of light in comparison to the other lights. I mean, it's not that important, but it could
yeah,
interfere with some people's sleep.
sure. Yeah, there've been different requests for things like that regarding lights, right? So Atom OS, we're looking at creating a dark mode as well. I know that's really important for a lot of people, and so we'll look into it. The LED lights. But yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing where routers have that schedule. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was my question for now.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, for sure. Take care.
Take care. All right. I'm going to answer a couple of questions here. There was a question talking about the UK police partnership and into the reasons for it. Well, the UK police, they want to basically be private themselves. When they're doing investigations and stuff, they don't want their IPs to be revealed because a lot of hackers target, the governments and stuff like that. And, we're not trying to go against the police or anybody. So our devices are free to use for everyone. And the UK police have found that having our device protects their privacy so they're not revealed. So a lot of times they're investigating child pornography, these sort of things, which Deeper Network doesn't really condone, but we're not doing anything directly about it. But for the authorities who want to, and if our tools can help them achieve those kind of things, which puts children in danger, then great. They could go ahead and use that. Some have said that, in this question it says it may be speculated that they may try to crack devices to get a jump on people using it. That's not possible. So the devices aren't able to connect to other devices, and just having a device doesn't allow you to crack anything. The only thing that you're able to connect or know about another device is their masked IP, and that's about it. And even with that masked IP, you're unable to connect to that particular IP. Like I had mentioned earlier, you can't choose what IP you want to connect to, right? And so whatever IP you're connected to is masked, and you don't really know who they are, where they're from, right? Like exactly, what country they're in, but that's about it. So I wouldn't worry about this partnership at all. I think, if anything, we should be happy that we're working with bigger agencies and corporations and partnering, because it shows that our technology is really popular and it's really strong. It's being noticed, and so yeah. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. I know a lot of people are wary of police and stuff, but their reason for using our device is purely to protect their own privacy. All right. Okay. Oh, we got a Christian Jimenez. I'll make this our last question, and then we'll call it a day. Make sure allow everyone to go back to whatever they're doing. Hey, Christian. Christian, you want to unmute yourself? Yep, there you go.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me, Eric?
Yes. Hi, Christian. Where are you from?
I'm from Mexico.
Cool. What's your question, Christian?
So, actually, Eric, I have a couple questions. First of all, I want to start by saying that the device itself it's been very helpful. I've been a member of the Deeper Network since 2021,
Awesome.
and I'm currently living in Texas, actually.
Okay.
And that has been very, very helpful. So, the technology is great itself. Also, the improvement in terms of uh, firmware and the new Atom Atomos
OS. Mm-hmm.
OS. It's been great. So my first question is, when do we expect to see the new upgraded version of the firmware?
Yes, we have a new one coming out this week, or maybe early next week. Within the week, it's not going to be the 2.0, which is the one everyone's kind of been waiting for. But the next one will have some upgrades regarding the added Facebook, Telegram, WhatsApp to the app relocator, and it's gonna kind of fill out those kind of things. But the 2.0, which is gonna have the new menus and the new user interface, is probably gonna be either the one after this one or two from this one. Okay, so it's just around the corner. There are still some things that we're working on there, and it's not quite ready, but I would say it's probably like 95% ready. So that's soon.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So will that be released simultaneously with the DPN app? Is that
No,
what
probably
are your
not.
plans in regards to the launching of the app?
Yeah, they're both happening at the same time. We have two different teams of engineers working on each one. And so even if they're ready at the same time, we would not launch it at the same time. Just from a marketing perspective, it would be not wise to do so. So we would space it out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and well, and I also have another question.
Yeah.
And I was one of the users that was able to purchase the first generation of Picos,
Okay.
the combos. I think it was back in the Kickstart campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the
Kickstarter.
second campaign that you launched. Yeah, Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And so my concern is that the capabilities of the Picos will no longer be able to at least run NPOW features and just the RAM itself.
Right.
So are you guys considering perhaps in the future launching like some sort of like a special recycle program for all devices? So maybe we can just return some of the old generations and pay a difference or do something about it just to kind of like stay updated with the new generations of devices.
I haven't thought about that, but I think even with the MPOW in the future being launched, it's not 100% yet that the Pico will not be able to handle it. Right now, we're just saying that most likely it won't, just because of the amount of memory that NPOW would require. However, even if it doesn't work for the Pico to take part in NPOW, we probably wouldn't recycle it because the device is still good to use for everything else, right? And so, if anything, what we would do is possibly hold some sort of a campaign, some discount, like a big sale for users who were previous customers to upgrade to new devices at a huge discount. So I could probably see that coming and that happening, but I wouldn't expect any buyback of devices, because that would create havoc on our warehouses, and we wouldn't really be able to know what to do with
Right.
the devices. And it's better that a lot of people have multiple devices, because when they're traveling, or they can give it to friends and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it makes sense in terms of logistics
Yeah.
with all the devices. So, also, when it comes to the future ways of not mining, but related to the credit score program that we're using right
Uh-huh.
now, NPOW and staking. So as far as I know, we're transitioning into eventually just be running on NPOW,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen with the staking system, the credit score? Are we going to continue using those? Because in the past, I remember you mentioning that the credit score will have some sort of like a value, especially with those nodes that have been connected for, at this point, years.
Hmm.
Uh, so I guess my question is, what's going to happen with the staking and the credit score system? If they're going to continue having a
Okay.
value, or
Great question.
what is the plan?
So
Yes.
regarding the staking, well, NPOW hasn't launched yet officially. Um, so when that does launch, we're going to be going through a period where both exist. Both the it's called POC, proof of credit, POCR, which is the credit score and the staking. That will happen at the same time as NPOW. So they'll both be running, and a lot of people will be able to participate in both types of mining at the same time. However, over time, we will be moving away from POCR and focusing on the growth of NPOW, because that is where the Web3 ecosystem will grow. And it's a much more powerful, much more advanced mining kind of incentive program through the NPOW. And um, uh, the second half of your question there. Oh, and so the credit scores that you've earned through POCR are not going to just disappear. They will
Okay.
come into play at NPOW. Exactly how has not been entirely decided yet, but I suspect, because NPOW, a lot of the tasks, they're called Web3 tasks, that anybody's device can kind of uh, basically you can grab these tasks and win them, so that you can earn this money. I suspect the credit score will will come into play there to better your odds at winning Web3 tasks. And so I think also having a reliable node will also help your node win better tasks as well. So, if you leave your device on, maybe at night you can win 10 tasks normally, right? And so when you wake
Right.
up, you've accomplished 4 Web3 tasks, and then the funds have gone to your wallet. But if you have a higher credit score, or if you have a really reliable node that somehow increases your odds, you might wake up and you have 15 or 20 tasks that you won. So that's
Right.
kind of an example of kind of how I foresee this happening. I had talked to our head of blockchain about this in the past, and he also feels the same way. That's kind of where we aligned. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great.
Mm,
Because I think that's an element that can be very important in the future,
absolutely.
especially for all those users that
Yeah,
have
me
been,
too.
trying to contribute to the
Exactly.
network, right?
I think like 13 or 14. I haven't looked recently, but I'm up there with the credit score, and I would hate it to have it go down to like, nothing, just zero.
Right.
Yeah. But
Right. And so,
regarding your tokens that are
yes.
staked, they're always going to be yours, right? So when we do eventually shift to MPLW, of
Okay.
course, we'll make announcements, and we'll do prior to this thing happening, months ahead. We'll start to notify people, and Atom OS will probably have pop-ups. People can unstake their tokens and get those back as well, of course.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, perfect.
Hmm.
So, and the last one, I promise.
Sure. No problem.
uh, so I know that in the past, since 2021, I think I remember, we've been like like mentioning that when the DPR is going to be listed on tier one exchanges,
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
popular exchanges. And so one of the responses in the past is that first, I guess the plan is just to build the network
Hmm.
at a point where, for instance, right now you mentioned that we have around 200,000 nodes
Hmm.
in the network. At a point where the project itself is basically uh, desired, by the exchanges, and not something that is being just pushed and by the community itself, but the project itself, it generates revenue and popularity among
Yeah.
exchanges. So I guess when do we expect to see, like in the near future, perhaps next year, to see DPR perhaps
On a
being
tier one.
listed in yes, on a tier one?
Okay. So the good question. Obviously, centralized exchanges, tier one exchanges, that particular like Binance, Coinbase, there has been a huge crackdown by the SEC and different kind of organization or government agencies on centralized exchanges, right? And so listings on centralized exchanges have really, really cooled off. So that has affected our
Okay.
discussions and closely kind of regarding the listings with the listing teams of these tier ones uh, have slowed down over that period of time, but they still have all of our info, and I can say that one of the tier ones actually already has our DPR tokens, but they have not decided to pull the trigger. And as long as they have our tokens, it's basically a foot in the door. Okay, I can't say which one it is,
Right.
but that it's been like this for probably over 6 months now. Okay. Regarding good exchanges, DPR, if you could look on CoinMarketCap, we are on KuCoin, we are on Gate, we are on MEXC, right? And then we're also on Uniswap and PancakeSwap and the DEXs. So it's definitely available out there. If you want to buy DPR, it's certainly easy enough to get it, right? Most people know how to use DEXs, right? Anybody can use that. But if you don't have a KuCoin
Yeah.
account, you can go to a DEX. So, is our success based on listing on a tier one exchange? I don't think it is. It's just part of it, right? Of course, I would love to
Right.
be on Binance. I would love to be on Coinbase. However, when you're on those exchanges, it takes a lot of resources to remain on there, and sometimes it becomes a distraction, and also becomes um, a part like a problem where you have to constantly. It's almost a liability because they require certain volumes. They require a lot of things for you to remain on there, and a lot of times if you don't meet certain requirements, and believe it or not, they say they don't take listing fees, and that is not true. They take it in other ways, trust me. And the listing fees
Okay.
are outrageous. And so when you pay all these listing fees, you get listed and then you don't meet their requirement. They give you a couple of warnings and you're not able to fulfill their needs, then they delist you. And that not only damages the amount of, or it hurts because you guys, the project spent so much money listing it, but it also damages the reputation of the project. So we want it to happen naturally. Ideally, if they come to us and they say, hey, we would love to list your token. We see the stuff you guys are doing with the partnerships and the nodes, and one of our teammates have tried your device. If something like that happens, and then we get listed that way, it's a lot better than just us going to them and begging and saying, "Please take our money,
Right.
list us. We'll do all the market making. We'll spend hundreds of $1,000s a couple of months to do the market making to fulfill your needs." Like that's just throwing your money into the
Right.
trash. So
Right.
yeah, that's how I
Okay.
kind
Okay.
of see
Thank
the
you.
listings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it makes sense. I think helium, right, was the list from Binance like a couple
Exactly.
of months ago. That's what happened. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
And that's a
that. So
bummer, and they
yeah,
spent tons of money, I'm sure, and it doesn't look good for them either. And it's helium. I mean,
yeah,
if helium could get delisted, anybody can get delisted.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I would suggest then instead to spend those resources in marketing and this is I'm going to conclude with this.
Yeah.
The device is great, technology is great. I like the fact that we're transitioning the project into Solanas. That's gonna, I think that was a very smart idea.
Mhm.
And however, the graphic design of of our Twitter page,
Yeah.
I want to say that it's not the best. I think we can,
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
of us,
Well,
I think we can do a
it's
better
coming
job
out.
on those images.
It's
'Cause they look kind of sketchy, right? And Solana, it's well known for this, like great, like if there's really if there's something they're really good at it, it's their marketing and design and graphic and all the stuff.
Wait,
And I think we
which
can
images
just
are you
improve
talking
on
about? Are
that.
you talking about the user interface?
Well, not the user interface, like the just the posts, like all like the advertising in the Twitter account.
Uh-huh.
Like for instance, like short videos or small graphics announcing stuff. Like the one for the AMA
Uh-huh.
recently.
Yeah.
That one looks okay,
Okay.
decent. But there are a lot of like images that honestly look kind of like a sketchy. And I've been talking to others because sometimes I like to share and promote like the project among friends
Yeah.
because the project is great again. But when they go to their website or not the website, the Twitter page, and when they start looking at the post, they're like, "Hey, that kind of looks like, sketchy. Like, is that something genuine?" Like,
Oh, that's interesting.
and
Okay.
the
Well,
AI generated images kind of like they look like very simple. So
okay.
I don't think it will be a problem to spend a couple hundreds on that and kind of like improve and especially since now we're moving to Solana, I think that could be a great strategy for
Okay.
us.
Well, I'll take that to heart. Take that noted.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Eric, for everything, and we're here for the long term.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your questions, Christian.
Bye
All
bye,
right. Bye
Eric.
bye. All right. Well, it's been an hour and a half. I hate to drag this out any longer. I do see some questions written on the bottom here. I'll try to answer these on Twitter. So I appreciate everyone who attended. We had a great turnout, and I'm sure thousands others will listen. They usually do after the fact. But it was a fun one. A lot of exciting things happening, and we'll continue. I can't wait for the UI to launch. I can't wait for the new devices to launch, as well as the app. These are upcoming things that we should all look forward to. And please help support by being engaged with our posts, being engaged with our YouTube. Go follow our YouTube, comment, like. That's going to really help the exposure as well. So we talk about marketing. There's no better marketing than a community supporting the project. So you guys many of you have done that. For those of you that haven't, please come out and support us more. Appreciate it. And we're going to end the Twitter space or the X space here. And it's going to be recorded. So if you missed anything, you could come back and listen. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day.